The other day I got a call from my college because they are checking up on last year's students, and when I got off the phone, my mom was like, "Was that the LGBT community?" As if the whole LGBT community would call me a simple gay. The gay agenda is the world's biggest group chat. What if when you killed someone, you gained their best trait? What if you only got what they thought their best trait was? You think you're killing someone for their brain, and you get their nose instead. You think you're killing someone for their strength, and you get their baking skills instead. You think you're killing someone for their cunning, and you get their ability to parallel park. Write a goddamn book. Laziness. I'd rather sit here than pick up those clothes. Executive dysfunction. I need to pick up those clothes. I need to pick up those clothes. Why am I still watching this thing on Netflix while sitting down? Stand up. I need to pick up those clothes. I need to pick up those clothes. I need to. Holy sh, you nailed it. No more minimalist aesthetics. In 2020 we are dressing like birds of prey characters. Gold pants, mismatched eyeliner, whatever Huntress is doing, that makes her so hot. No more minimalist aesthetics. In 2020 we are dressing like birds of prey. When you're in therapy and you feel fine, but then you get home and your mental illness is like, "Welcome home honey, how was therapy?" When your mental illness picks you up from therapy. I was at the doctor's today and there was a guy sitting behind me with his baby, and the baby starts crying in its pram, and the guy just stands up, faces the kid, and says, "Come on now, don't cry, you're better than that." Also, someone else asked him how old his baby was, and he said without even a moment's hesitation, "He's 36. He's just got a height problem, and I've only just come to terms with the fact I'll never say something that funny in my life." It hikey sounds like you stumbled in halfway through a comedy about a dude whose friend got magicked into a baby. When you learned of the god of war, you thought he'd be tall and muscular and angry. When you were about to meet him, you braced yourself for the worst. You weren't quite expecting the short, scrawny, shy kid you ended up getting instead. Olive skin, black hair, skinny, dirty face with pale lines, where tears had sliced through the ashen dust. A white chiton dress and a threadbare shawl draped over her shoulders. A pair of wings, huge, black vulture wings, far too large on her tiny body, were the only things that suggested she was divine. The general shifted his weight from foot to foot. Obviously respect had to be given to gods, but, I'm sorry, I was invoking heirs? The god of war? The child god shrunk in on herself and pulled the shawl over her shoulders. She muttered something. "Sorry," the general asked. "Heirs is the god of slaughter," the child god said in a slightly louder voice. "Not war." The general looked at the priest. The priest shrugged, clearly lost at sea. "Well," the general said, "then maybe Athena? Goddess of tactics and war?" "Tactics," the child god repeated. "Not war." There was a long ugly silence as the huge vulture wings shifted with a whisper of brushing feathers. "My name was Iphigenia, daughter of Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, commander of the Greeks who stormed the walls of Troy. When my father disgraced Artemis, and the winds of Greece would not blow her battleships to Troy, I was brought to Aulis. For my wedding, I was told I was." She sobbed. Teardrops dribbled off her chin and fell to the temple floor. "I was 14. And then I was brought to the highest altar in Aulis, and another sob. I was 14, she said. The vulture wings draped over her, and she disappeared under the cloak of black feathers. When they parted, and when the child god looked up at the general, he fell backwards. Those eyes he'd seen 1,000 times in battle. "I'm the true spirit of war, general," the child god said. "I'm the goddess of bloodshed, of sacrifice, of the slaughter of innocents. I'm invoked when men ravage, burn and pillage. I'm invoked when mothers cry out, when sons die, when daughters are stolen. I hear it all, general. I have heard it all, since the fall of Troy." The terrible wings opened up. The child god loomed over the fallen man, 20, 30 feet tall. Somewhere, the priest was screaming, "How dare you call upon my name?" 5 is like an honorary even number. Why does this make sense? People managing to live where they grew up is really bizarre to me. Hi, Croatian here. As an inland country, I found a job processing uranium. We have a lot of it. I wish I was processing uranium in Croatia. I think about this post every day. Hey, another Croatian here. Croatia has a coastline and I can't find a single mention of uranium in Croatia. I don't know what kind of parallel universe this person is from. My sense of humor. Suggesting kill them as punishment for an extremely disproportionate crime. He stole my eraser. Kill him. Staring at an object that has fallen over for a prolonged amount of time and with inordinate disappointment. Points at a garbage can. That's me. Zooming really far into someone's face on Snapchat. Something minimally inconveniencing happens. What did I ever do to you? What are you doing? My best. Shortening words that are already shorter versions of other words. X. Thank. Congrat. Welk. Bees. Unpopular opinion. Cookie dough is worth taking the risk of getting salmonella. Dylan, pull yourself together and go get a damn spoon. It's cookie dough, not a beefy 5-layer burrito. Have some class. I'm so confused why he would think cookie dough would give him salmonella. What parent told him this? There's no chicken in there. 2 words. Raw eggs. What kind of world do you live in where raw eggs carry salmonella or are in any way unsafe? Don't ask me. Ask them Americans. I'm a nation, just passing the word on. Deep breath. Though the risk is small, raw eggs can carry salmonella. More threateningly, raw wheat can carry E. coli. However, if you don't mind making your own cookie dough, you can easily make it safely. Take your standard recipe. Omit the eggs. Eggs serve as a binding agent to hold the cookie together. Since we are eating the dough raw, that's not needed. Take the flour, put it in a pan, and bake it at 350 for 7 minutes. Any E. coli is now dead. Just mix the rest of the ingredients together as the recipe is called for, and bam, perfectly safe edible cookie dough. Thank you so fucking much for this wisdom. Wait, you're telling me I can get E. coli just from eating flour straight from the bag? Why? Why are you eating flour straight from the bag? A Doofenshmirtz movie that has the same concept as the Joker movie, but in reverse. A feel-good movie about how a man has managed to achieve his dreams, raised a beautiful loving daughter, and just overall make a positive impact on the people around him, despite his horrible upbringing and morally dubious schemes. Where's that fucking movie, Hollywood? Doof. Giraffe. Hey, that's not a giraffe. Lionesses are known for their cunning hunting tactics. You know that feel when no girlfriend? No, actually, I don't, because I'm a manly man who plays several sports. Am I right, my fellow sportsmen? Name all 7 sports. 1. Ball throw. 2. Ball catch. 3. Ball run. 4. Ball kick. 5. Shoot ball. 6. Darn touch. 7. Memes. Get fucking wrecked. Zina Portnova poisoned more than 100 Nazis. She joined the Komsomol in 1943. Betrayed. She was captured. She then killed a Nazi detective interrogating her and 2 more Nazis in her escape attempt. Executed on January 10, 1944. She was 18. Somebody said make this a movie, but no. Make this a 1-season Netflix series, spanning 6 to 10 episodes. If she did all this, I don't want it watered down to 2 hours. I want a binge session. That's how she looked. I adore her. She poisoned their soup. She was working in the canteen and was forced to serve the occupying Nazis and ate the same soup to prove her innocence. Then she rushed home to her grandma, who gave her a whole jar of milk to drink and throw up. Mayo. She shot the interrogator with his own gun, and she was a member of a resistance movement named Young Avengers. She was 17. Teenage girls are so fucking hardcore. I want to be this hardcore female warrior. Tagging and blood tests for bison. Just to give you an idea of how big they are. This male weighs around 3000 lbs. Holy sh, how big is the bison then? If you kill a bug, that's cool. I kill bugs all the time. But if a person says, hey, I'm going to be upset if you kill that bug, please, let me take it outside, and you respond by killing the bug just to hurt and ridicule them, I've got some bad news for you. You're a fucking hole. Throwback to the time I deleted this post because it was so controversial. Like, I got dozens of hateful messages over this. People were messaging me about bug politics for weeks. Did somebody say bug politics? I'm not really mentally ill, I'm just faking this. A mentally ill proverb. I said this to my therapist, and she just looked at me and said, so do you think I went to clown school? They might as well blame millennials for economic failures that happened 200 years ago at this point. Toys R Us says millennials not having kids hurt the company, and it could be because of a looming demographic time bomb. Millennials are blamed for everything. It's getting so old. The Black Death wasn't transmitted by rats. It was transmitted by millennials. Millennials shot Versailles. Millennials killed off the dinosaurs. Millennials shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and Sophie, Duchess of Hohenberg. Cain was a millennial. Millennial caused the Great Permian extinction. The Titanic didn't hit an iceberg. It collided with floating colony of ocean millennials. Millennials stabbed Caesar. 10 surprising historical genocides you may not realize millennials were responsible for. Millennials killed Princess Diana. I thought we agreed that one was John Mulaney. Favorite thing about Hosier's songs are that at first listen they're beautiful prose, but then you listen to it again, and you go wait, this is horny. Modern day Shakespeare right in front of us. Why do witches like always wanna fatten kids up before they eat them? Fat is like the grossest part of meat. Why hello there, little children. Please, follow me to my magical fitness room. No pansies allowed beyond this point. Leave your whining at the door, because it's leg day, and we're about to get ripped. Because they are always cooking, said kids in cauldrons and ovens. Aka long cooking times at lowish heat. If you do that to fatty meat, the fat melts completely, and the meat gets tear it apart with a fork soft. If you do it to lean meat, you get tiny little sad meat bits that bring no joy to anyone. Well, you did ask. Also, there's wisdom in fattening them up on sweets and other carbs. A meatless carb-rich diet makes for more tender and flavorful meat. You are arguing over the semantics of eating children. I'm in the 1% of the population with this, but I really do not enjoy summer. I love winter. Like, if you are cold, you can put on a hoodie, you can grab a blanket and snuggle. Like, when you're hot, what do? Rip your skin off? Finally someone understands me. This is so funny. As coulrophobia, the fear of clowns, is effectively non-existent in Japan, the development team was surprised to receive negative feedback on Lollipop's concept art from Nintendo of America, stating that some of the employees found her appearance to be a little scary. This amused Kosuke Buki, who felt that he learned a weakness of Americans after the exchange. This is so funny. Siri, play Entry of the Gladiators.